Meera's gaze lingered on Rishab as he stepped out, the bedroom door closing behind him with a quiet click. Silence returned. But this time, it wasn't heavy. It was waiting. Her eyes shifted back to the bathroom door. Closed. Still. She took a slow step forward, her saree brushing softly against the floor, and raised her hand. A gentle knock. Not loud. Not forceful. Just present. "Ira," she whispered, her voice carrying something no one else in that room had offered yet. Understanding. "Want to know something?" A pause. Her fingers rested lightly against the wood. "I am so proud of you." Inside. The sound of running water faltered, then stopped. A fragile silence followed. Meera closed her eyes for a brief second, as if acknowledging that small shift, that first crack in the wall Ira had built around herself. Her voice softened further. "Warmer. Closer. Come out, child," she murmured gently. "I'm here for you," a breath. No expectations. No pressure. Just presence. "Only you." No answer came. The silence behind the door stayed intact. Meera didn't push again. She simply lowered herself and sat beside the door, her back resting lightly against the wall, as if she knew she was being heard, as if she knew the fragile girl inside was holding onto every word, even if she refused to step out. Her hand lifted slowly, resting flat against the door, like she was touching her, like there was no barrier between them. Her voice, when she spoke again, was softer, but it trembled. Not weak. Just honest. "I was 18, she began quietly, her eyes lowering for a moment, "when I got married to Atharva." A faint, distant smile touched her lips. "He was 24, handsome, sharp, a good man." A pause. Her fingers pressed gently against the door, "But I didn't want any of it." The words came out bare. Unfiltered. "I didn't want to marry at all." Her voice thinned slightly, as if the memory still held weight. "I had dreams, like you, like every girl does." Silence wrapped around her for a second. Then she exhaled softly. "And Atharva, he was understanding," she continued. "I met him just to say no, to end it before it began." A faint crease formed between her brows, but something in that meeting changed me. Her gaze drifted, as if she were standing in that moment again. Something shifted, a tear slipped free. Quiet. Unannounced. She wiped it gently, as if it didn't matter, but it did. "Just like you, I was betrothed to him since childhood," she went on, her voice steadier now. "Saying no was never really an option." A breath. "And after meeting him, I didn't want to say no either." A faint, bittersweet smile curved her lips. "He was an aspiring politician. Our marriage was everywhere, radio, newspapers, all over Rajasthan." She let out a soft, almost humorless breath. "He wasn't a man of many words and was hardly home." Another pause. "But he fulfilled every duty of a husband." Her fingers curled slightly. "And I," her voice dropped, quieter now, almost fragile, "I was naive. I didn't know what love should feel like, what a husband should be beyond duty." Her gaze lowered further. "I thought what we had was enough." A faint shake of her head. "I had never seen a marriage up close. I lost my mother early. I didn't have a reference to know the difference." The words lingered. Heavy. Real. And then a soft sound. A click. Meera's head lifted instantly. The door. Opening. She stood up slowly, almost afraid to rush the moment, and then she saw her. Ira. Standing there. Drenched. Her hair was wet, strands clinging to her face and neck, water droplets trailing down the fabric of her saree, soaking it unevenly. Her face, washed clean of everything except what couldn't be hidden. Her eyes. Red. Puffy. Tired. But strangely. Calm. Not the calm of peace, the calm of exhaustion, of feeling too much and then nothing at all. Her gaze stayed lowered, not meeting Meera's. Not resisting. Just there. Meera's heart clenched painfully. "Oh, child," she whispered. The words broke before they fully formed. She stepped forward and pulled Ira into her arms without hesitation, holding her close, tight, protective, as if trying to shield her from everything she had just gone through. "I'm sorry," Meera murmured, her voice trembling now, repeating the words against Ira's damp hair. "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." Over and over. Like an apology, not just for tonight, but for everything Ira had been made to endure. Ira sat quietly on the bed, wrapped in a soft blue cotton suit. The simplicity of it made her look even more delicate, stripped of all the gold and shimmer from before, yet somehow more beautiful. Her face was bare, untouched, but her flushed cheeks, red nose, and swollen eyes told their own story. A cup of hot cocoa rested between her hands, her fingers curled around it like she needed its warmth to stay grounded. A light quilt covered her lap, pulled close, not for the cold, but for comfort. Behind her, Meera sat gently, a towel in her hands as she softly dried Ira's damp hair. Her movements were slow, careful, like she was tending to something fragile, something that had already been hurt too much. "Want me to continue?" Meera whispered. Ira didn't look up. She just nodded faintly, her gaze fixed on her lap. Meera's lips curved into a soft, aching smile. She leaned forward slightly and pressed a gentle kiss to the top of Ira's head, quiet, warm, motherly. Then she continued. Everything looked fine from the outside. Her voice was calm, but layered with something deeper. I had a good husband, a respected family, a life people admired. Her hands moved through Ira's hair, slow, rhythmic. But I was lonely. The word lingered. Heavy. "Imagine," she said softly, "sleeping beside your husband, eating meals with him, being surrounded by his family." A pause. And still feeling alone. Ira's fingers tightened slightly around the cup. Meera exhaled softly. "Atharva was a good man," she continued. "Understanding, respectful, he fulfilled every duty." Her voice softened further. "But love," she paused, her gaze drifting somewhere far away. "Love was always a question buried deep in our marriage." Her hand slowed. "And we never dared to touch it." Another pause. "I was afraid," she admitted quietly. "Afraid that if I spoke about it, if I asked for more, whatever little we had would break." Her fingers curled slightly in the towel. "And I wouldn't be able to put it back together." Silence settled for a moment. "Life moved on," she whispered, "and I adjusted." A faint, almost sad smile touched her lips. "I forgot my dream of opening an NGO, became the perfect Bahu, the perfect wife." Her voice didn't hold pride. Just acceptance. "People praised me, admired me," a pause, "but not by the one I wanted." Meera's hand paused on Ira's head, her voice teared. Ira's breath hitched softly. "And then Ariv was born," Meera continued, her tone growing quieter. "And whatever little time we had disappeared." Her hands stilled again for a second before continuing. "We became two people, connected by a child." A hollow breath escaped her. "If we spoke, it was about the house, the family, our son." Her voice dropped to almost a whisper. "Never about us." A long pause followed. Then, Ira turned her face slightly and looked at her. Meera wasn't looking at her anymore. Her gaze was distant. Lost. As if she wasn't in this room, but somewhere in her past, reliving every word she had just spoken.